Hi guys, welcome back to the astrological series. So today we're doing a super exciting reading, and I love that I got to do this because I get to combine my love for astrology with my love for fashion and aesthetics in general, and just do something different on this channel. And I don't know, it just brings me new passion, and I really like that. So today we're looking into your beauty, your style, and your appearance based on your Gemini, rising, sun, and Venus. All right, so this is for people with those placements, or if you just want to watch because you think it's a fun topic, then you're more than welcome to do so as well. But we're gonna look into, some style tips. What are your naturally given beauty, beauty elements, considering your zodiac signs, considering your energy, so to say. So why are we looking at your rising, your Venus, and your sun sign? Let's start there, right? So Gemini in general, I don't know why I said Gemini, in general, sorry, your rising sign is super important to look at when we're looking at the self, the physical appearance, because it's literally embodying our physical body. The rising sign talks about the physical body, about the way we present ourselves to the world, the first impressions we make, what we're comfortable showing. It's the most visible energy in the chart that people see right off the bat with people. All right, so often our rising sign can tell us what we're comfortable dressing like, what we're comfortable showing, and even about our beauty, so to say, like our appearance. All right, so the Venus sign is another very important thing to note when looking at beauty, because Venus is literally the planet of beauty, creativity, aesthetics. So it talks about what we consider to find beautiful, as well as what is beautiful about us. And sometimes those things are interlinked, right? Because if we find this type of dress beautiful, then we're more quick to wear it. And that kind of talks about what we show to the world then as well. So what we're aesthetically attracted to, so to say, is this Venus, but also just the beauty that we have. The physical appearance can also be a bit indicated, and especially the style and fashion preferences by Venus. And your sun sign. So the sunshine, okay, whoo, let the sun shine. No, but the sun sign is another element that we look into, because the sun is also what we see from people. So often people with a Gemini sun, you still might have physical appearance things that people see, even though you might have a Taurus rising and a Leo Venus, right? You may still embody Gemini appearance things. Like you might have a significant mouth or significant hands, or you might have a bit more of a limber body or something along those lines. But we're gonna get into those things a little bit more as we go on. So the first thing, other than knowing why we're looking at your sun, Venus, and rising, is to look at Gemini and your element. So Gemini is an air element, and the element of air is an element of change, of flexibility, of spontaneity. It's an element that is related to our mental energy as well. So this is quite flexible, and the flexibility might even be something that's reflected, especially because Gemini, you're also a mutable sign. So out of the air elements, you're the most, I guess, you're the most mutable, you're the most flexible sign. So this may be kind of represented in your in your appearance, or in the way that you like to dress. So I would say, for example, a Gemini Venus or rising, you might change styles quite often, or you're maybe not necessarily too fixated on one style, or you might be able to show off and look good in different things. Like you don't have this energy of, I need one statement piece and I need to stick with that forever. It can be a lot more flexible than that for you. Like you could change hairstyles often, you could change your wardrobe often, or you just like to change it up. So one person that I saw this with, two people, I would use two people here, is Kirsten Stewart. I thought her energy was super interesting because she, on the one hand, you know, in her twilight days, and I don't know everything about her, so I'm just going off of purely appearance based. She had this more girly look, right? And she's a Gemini Venus. So she had this more girly look, and later on, I think she's also part of the LGBTQ community. I don't know much about her. I'm only looking at aesthetics, and now she's changed her appearance in such a cool way that she's actually gained a lot of popularity as well for her cool kind of androgynous looks, and it looks amazing on her. But yet, if you look at her more girly looks, if we can say it like that, that looked amazing on her too. So those shifts in her appearance, yet it complements her. It looks amazing on her. And we have Margot Robbie as another example. And even if you look at different looks, obviously it's part of her career too. She has significant Gemini energy, but even in her street styles, like she can go from wearing her, obviously also a bit related to her career, like the Barbie looks, to going, you know, into this suit, for example, from just putting some things together that may not necessarily, you know, color-wise go together. It doesn't matter. It is kind of embracing that energy when it comes to the Gemini. Yeah, the Gemini can pull off anything, and they don't have to feel like they need to box themselves in any type of way. So changing things up, even if you see Margot Robbie as like the Joker, for example, that look is completely different, yet she pulled it off. And honestly, yes, it's because she's beautiful, but we're also looking at, you know, the zodiac, the astrology side behind it. So let's see, now that we know your air element, being air, let's look at your ruling planet. So your ruling planet is Mercury. Mercury is the planet of communication, of intellect, of this very mental energy, so to say. So honestly, it could even present in your appearance to a certain degree, right? Like you could have a significant mouth because you might be talking a lot, so people can be drawn to your mouth. Or a nice laugh, because Gemini energy is super related to humor as well, and wittiness. So even if you may wear a little bit more of a nerdy energy, like in your style at times, like embracing how intellectual you are by wearing glasses, or by, I don't know, wearing something that signifies that you're, that you're learning, that you're a student in the way that you dress, that could maybe look amazing, especially because you are a very, very intelligent soul. And then we can also look at your colors a little bit more. So I would say for colors, if we look at Mercury, if we look at air, like you could be drawn to blue or even yellow colors as well. Yet I wouldn't say for Gemini, oh, one thing. I think you can pull off a lot of colors. You can pull off, for example, different patterns, because Gemini, again, it likes different things, and patterns can even look great. We can look at Lizzo, for example. She has Gemini Venus, I think. Look at a dress where she's wearing patterns, and she has a lot of fire with that as well. Like, I will pull up her chart just to make sure I'm not saying anything that's not 100% true. I looked up these charts before, but for whatever reason, I don't remember. Yeah, she has a Gemini Venus, yeah, and an ascendant in Leo. So you definitely see her Leo energy as well in her fashion. But combined with Gemini, like Gemini is also a little bit, most of the times, not really scared to show themselves, and neither is Leo. So she's a good example of fire and air coming out as an extroverted energy in the way that you dress, in the way that you look as well. Next thing that I want to look at is every zodiac sign rules a specific amount of body traits, so to say. Maybe that's not the right word, but Gemini energy rules the hands as well as the arms, and I feel like it in general kind of rules a bit of the limberness. I don't know how to say that, but people with Gemini energy can come across sometimes in their posture, like I have this, I'm a Gemini moon and I'm a Gemini Mars, yet in my sidereal I'm a Gemini Sun and I'm a Gemini Mercury, and I definitely relate to Gemini energy quite a bit. And I've always heard that I am, and I'm not trying to say this in a weird way, but like, for example, like I have long legs and long arms, and often in my posture, it can be shown that when, for example, I'm sitting with my legs, you know, crossed, then to another person that looks very weird, or that I can have, a bit of clumsiness to you. As a Gemini, you can have a little bit of a clumsiness or awkwardness sometimes to your posture or your body, but it's very endearing. It's actually very cute when you're embracing that, a little bit of your chaotic energy in your style, in your beauty. So again, you are ruled by the hands. So Gemini people may talk with their hands a lot, or maybe wearing cool rings or allowing your hands to be an accessory as well can be such a good tip for embracing your styles. And again, you might, some air signs, especially Gemini, you might be a bit taller, or you may have longer limbs, like I said. So you could embrace that too, you know, you can embrace those limbs. If you look at Amy Winehouse, she has Gemini energy too. There's something right about her posture too. And even though, she was drunk a lot on stage, she had that a bit of chaotic energy, even in sometimes the way that she presented herself. But it became such an iconic thing for her. Leaning into a little bit of her chaos in her style too. All right. So I think Venus in Gemini, embracing your quirkiness, embracing a bit of your chaotic energy, embracing your flexibility, embracing your humor as well in your style. We aren't just going to look at women, we're also going to talk a little bit about the men. A great example is Tom Holland. He has his Sun and Venus, I believe, both in Gemini, and he embodies Gemini energy, right? So when we look at styles, that picture that I'm choosing with him holding this dog, where he also has patterns on his shirt, look great on him. He can really he can really embody that, as well as like kind of the goofiness that he has in this kind of pajama-like styles is great, because he embodies that, and he embodies a lot of his goofiness as well. I feel like in the way that he presents himself, in the way that he talks, and it's endearing. It is part of his beauty. It's part of his appeal. So again, I'm gonna close off this analysis with personal observations of Venus or Sun or rising in Gemini. I know one thing, and this is very random. I know one person who had his rising in Gemini, and it's like, I felt like my perception of him changed, but also literal. So for example, when I saw him walking, like, and I'm not I also don't see the best, so maybe that's part of it. But I saw him walking like 10 meters ahead, ahead of me. I was like, is that what you look like? Especially when I just met him, I was like, and then when I saw him closer, I was like, you look so different. And so he had that energy to him, and I don't know how to explain that, but maybe that's incredibly random. And my brother as well as his girlfriend both have Venus in Gemini, and they're designing a house. So I'm talking Venus, also creativity and style preferences. Maybe when it comes to interior design, it doesn't just have to be looks, right? And they're both looking at house designs, and she has a bunch of Taurus energy. So normally in everything she does, it's like she likes the grounded colors, you know, she likes a bit more of her stability. And then all of a sudden she said to me, you know what I really want? Like one popping color or something that kind of gave, I felt like it was maybe her Gemini Venus that wanted a little bit of that spontaneity, that wanted a little bit. She said something along the lines as well, like, now that I'm still young, I can do that. And I thought, okay, this may be related to a Gemini Venus placements that really like to embrace a bit of their youthfulness too. So that's something I noticed. It wasn't necessarily style, but style, you know, interior style, so to say. All right, guys, that's what I have for the Gemini energy. Let me know, do you have any Gemini placements in your chart, especially if you have rising Venus or Sun, and do you relate to any of these things that I've shown you? Bye.